Welcome, one and all, back to my YouTube channel. I am Nexus What-If, and today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. Well, very different actually. Today I'm going to be doing What If Naruto and Minato switched places. Now, as you can tell by the title, thumbnail, and this little intro, I'm not going to be doing What If Naruto had Isobu and Kurama today. Am I still going to continue the series? No, they suck. Yes, of course I'm going to. The thing I hate the most is when someone leaves a series incomplete. Like, it's so annoying. Especially when it's good, and, well, this Isobu and Kurama is made by me, so it's amazing. So yeah, I'm going to finish it, but just in case you don't like it, on the off chance you don't like it, because I wrote it, amazing. If you didn't like it, I made this one instead. I made another What If that hopefully you'll like, and I think this premise is 10 times more interesting, and off chapter 1, and I'm only going to be reading chapter 1 today, because like there's a lot of things for me to set up, and well, after chapter 1, the story is going to be so fun and interesting, so I really hope you like it. So, as usual, if you hear anything weird, that's my mic acting weird, my voice, or, I don't know, it's just some background noise, or me moving around too much, and yeah, no, I think that's about it. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. What if Naruto and Minato switch places? Chapter 1, Reversal. As the title states, in this what if, Naruto would be Minato in Minato's time, and vice versa. So there's nowhere else to start than the beginning. So we see a red-headed girl walk into the classroom of the academy. This girl is Kusino Uzumaki, who is a refugee from the land of whirlpools, and she claims that she will be the first woman Hokage. The entire class laughs at her except Naruto. Naruto just has a determined grin on his face, as he's ready for a rival. Now we skip to about a week later, with all the sparring matches. Naruto gets put up against Mikoto Uchiha, sister to Fugaku Uchiha in this what if, and this would be important later. The match begins, and Naruto does fairly well at the beginning, but Mikoto just simply overwhelms him. She beats him in about 3 minutes. Naruto challenges her again, but the instructor moves on to the next match. She gives him a little condescending smirk when he gets pissed, which he gets pissed at. After the day ends, Naruto challenges her to another spar and she accepts. They go to a training field and she beats him again. He challenges again, she beats him again, and this keeps going on again and again and again and again. He challenged her at about 2 in the afternoon after class ended. It's now 7 in the evening. Mikoto is increasingly getting more and more frustrated. By the time she beats him for about the 88th time, she gets so frustrated and annoyed to the point where she awakens her Sharingan from stress and she bursts out yelling, "Why do you keep on trying? It's been hours and you've made no progress, so why? Why do you keep on trying?" Naruto gets mad at her and responds, "Well, if I'm going to become the best Hokage, then I have to be the very best, and for me to be the very best, I have to be able to beat the best, and you're the best." That's all best. Mikoto is slightly taken aback because none of the students have ever complimented her skill like that. Naruto stands back up and continues by saying, "Well, if you're done delaying, your eyes are shining and I can sense that you're stronger, so raise your fists and fight me once more, because I never give up and I'll never back down. No matter how many times I get pushed down, I'll always get back up, because to be Hokage, no one can ever give in. No one can ever give in." Mikoto is truly stunned by this and has nothing to say. To see this boy in front of her, just brimming with determination and willpower, it's awe-inspiring. She unconsciously starts to blush, which Naruto says, "Does your face become red when you get stronger as well?" Mikoto would blush even further and speed blitz Naruto and kick him down. Actually, hang on. Now we have a bit of a time skip. Naruto over the years had put in the work and had eventually caught up to Mikoto and had evened out the score between the two. They've been rivals since they were 8 and lovers since they were 12. Now, let me explain myself. So, first of all, if you think I'm going to make a what if where Naruto gets with his canonical mom, you're just wrong. I don't care if in this what if they're not related, but no, just not. And secondly, In the show, Naruto went for Hinata, and Minato, when he got reanimated, saw Sakura, and Sakura reminded him of Kusina. So if Sakura is equivalent to Kusina, then I just guess that Hinata is equivalent to Mikoto. They both have dojutsus, black hair, or purple, well, I don't know. They're both relatively quiet, right? And they're both cute, I don't know. Naruto goes for girls like Hinata, and Mikoto is most similar to Hinata. So that's why they're together. But back to What If. Naruto had also made a name for himself. Thanks to his contributions to the Third Great Ninja War, he gained not only a run on sight order, but also the epithet, or like nickname, of Infinite Sage. Thanks to his mastered Toad Sage mode, which he learned from the Toads of Mount Miyaboku due to being Jiraiya's student, and his ability to outnumber an army of 10,000 shinobi 9-1 due to his multi-cyclone jutsu. He also created the Rasengan in 1.5 years, half the time it took Minato to make it, was able to add chakra natures to it only 3 months later, and he made the Rasen Shuriken 3 months after that. Why did I make Naruto be able to do this? Because Naruto picked up a A-rank level jutsu. He learned that in a week. So if he made like the Rasen Shuriken in like 2 weeks or something. I don't know. Actually, let's look it up right now. How long did it take Naruto to learn Rasen Shuriken? It took him a couple of days at most to figure out how to combine the Rasengan with the wind element, and at some point during that time period he also developed the Rasen Shuriken. At most, it took him about a day to develop it. Nah. So, really, if you think about it, I'm lowballing Naruto. Because, like, to create the Rasengan, add chakra natures to it, and make the Rasen Shuriken, that realistically probably take Naruto, like, a month max. So, I'm just lowballing Naruto here. But anyway, back to the What If. Mikoto had a similar reputation and was infamously known as the Infernal Eye because of her Mangekyo Sharingan, which was Kagetsuchi. Well, one of them at least. Because of Naruto's clone, he was able to be correct use of the words quite literally anywhere and everywhere on the battlefields. So when a clone of him and Mikoto were on the same front lines, there was nothing anybody could do to stop them. This would happen often enough that they got another epithet or nickname as a duo, which was the Calamity Duo. Because Naruto could be everywhere at once, he could tag along with his very own Team 7, which consisted of Kakashi Hatake, Obito Uchiha, and Rindo Hara, but he doesn't reveal himself until after his team beats the Stone Ninja. So he knows his team could handle dangerous missions like this, and Kakashi still learns it's okay to choose your friends over the mission. But with Naruto there overall, Obito doesn't get crushed by a boulder, which means he doesn't meet Madara, which means Madara doesn't put Isobu the Three Toes into Rin, which means Rin doesn't have to die, which means that Team 7 is perfectly fine after the war ends. Except for the fact that Kakashi lost an eye. And speaking of, Obito would still give Kakashi his left eye for the same reason since he didn't get Kakashi anything for being promoted to Jonin, but he wouldn't die in the process. So this would deepen their bond as well. And now that Minato's Team 7 is all alive and well, they're gonna be there. Like spoilers, but they're gonna be there. This story was sounding pretty good for our protagonist, but good things cannot last forever. Never. Mikoto gets a sickness near the end of the war, and after some time, it's to the point where she can't fight anymore due to the severity of it. It turns out that she had a chakra disease, and the use of her Mangekyo Sharingan increased the spread. But there was one problem. By the time she and Naruto realized the details of her condition, she was already pregnant with Minato. The medics said that there was a 50-50 chance of the baby getting the illness and him not getting it. So for the next couple of years, Naruto and Mikoto live a quiet life. Even though Naruto was elected for Hokage, he has mastered the Cyclone Jutsu and keeps a 20% clone in the office while he spends his final years. While he spends the final years he can with his lovely life. There you go. It's now October 10th, which is Mikoto's due date, and we see her screaming in agonizing pain. The sickness makes childbirth 10 times more hard and painful. Mikoto does give birth to a healthy Minato, but sadly passes away due to the sickness taking over once he was most vulnerable. The last words to the loves of her life was, "I'm beyond ecstatic to have you in my life. I love you doesn't do justice to how I feel about you. I'll always be with you." She's able to muster up the strength to pull herself up and give the melancholy Naruto one final kiss before passing on. Naruto then starts to overflow with tears that drop onto his baby. But before he could truly mourn the death of his wife, he hears a loud explosion in the middle of the village. He looks out the hospital window and sees the nine-tailed fox causing havoc onto the village. 5 minutes before Mikoto gives birth, Kusina is talking to Fugaku, her husband, when he turns around. And now, just to clarify things, the one to save Kusina from the Cloud Ninja all that, when they were kids, when they were getting, if you're wondering about that was Fugaku with his Sharingan stuff, since Minato isn't there and now it just means place and whatnot. Meaning that Kusina is the mother of both Itachi and Sasuke. So Sasuke and Itachi are gonna have more chakra and the ability to use Uzumaki chains, and gonna have an easier time of learning sealing jutsu. Yeah. So really, there's not that much of a difference when compared to what I'm doing with Minato. Oh my goodness. Fugaku turns back around to see Kusina impaled through the stomach by a half-black, half-white man behind her. He uses his MS on Zetsu, but that's just a white Zetsu who is transformed into an actual Zetsu. Fugaku rushes over to the bleeding out Kusina and tries his best to keep her alive as he makes his way to the hospital. But she sadly dies before they even make it halfway. Kurama is then unleashed because Zetsu put a seal on Kusina, given to him by Madara, which unleashes Kurama if she were to die. Back to Naruto, he asks the doctors to make sure Mikoto's body stays safe as he hops out of the window and has his clone that's in the office body flicker to him. He dispels the clone, grabs the cloak midair, puts it on, and then summons Gamabunta, who jumps on Kurama's head. Kurama uses his tails to wrap around Gamabunta, then throw him into the sky. Gamabunta, while midair, uses Cyclone Jutsu that was taught to him by Naruto and makes 16 clones of himself. They all use water-style water whip, and a stream of water comes out of their mouths and attacks to Kurama. One for each tail and the other 8 are for his body. Yeah. They pull with all their might and lift him into the air and successfully throw him far away from the village. They then land on a wind platform created by Naruto and jump towards where they threw Kurama. They land and 8 of them start spitting out oil, while the other 8 start using wind-style wind bullets at Kurama. The original builds up fire chakra in his throat. Naruto then spawns 100 clones above each Gamabunta, making 1600 clones in total. The clones all have double giant fire and shuriken in their hands, while the original Naruto has a mega and shuriken in his hands. They then all throw the jutsu as the original Bunta releases his built-up fire chakra, and it just lights up Kurama. "Sage Art's never-ending flame dance," Naruto says. Kurama is roaring in pain from the senjutsu enhanced fire and wind attacks. Wow, I'm bad at this. Roaring pain, and he then forms a tailed beast bomb in his mouth to get rid of everything, but all the 1600 clones of Naruto blitz to his mouth and use Mega Rasengans to negate the tailed beast bomb, and in fact, by doing this, they stuff it inside Kurama, which damages him even more. Zetsu then comes out of the ground and throws a baby Minato into the air. The real Naruto blitzes to Minato, but that's when Kurama makes his move and goes to impale Naruto, but the 17 Gamabunta don't let that happen. Naruto catches Minato safely and lands back on the ground, but that's when Zetsu sticks his fist to his chest. If Zetsu could do that to Tenso's Madara, then he could do it to a no Kurama Hokage Naruto. So Naruto as he is now. Naruto spits out blood as he feels Zetsu sink into the ground. Naruto then realizes that Gamabunta is eventually going to go back to Mount Miyaboku because the summoning jutsu is gonna cancel out. And Kurama will still be going rampant, even more pissed than before. So if the heaviest heart that the shinobi world has ever seen, he does the Reaper Death Seal and seals the yin half of Kurama into himself and the yang half into Minato. Chapter 1 end. Okay, this was shorter than I thought. Sorry for the cuts. Sorry for the 1, 2, 3 cuts. One of them I needed water and other things just came up. So sorry about that if that was noticeable. Of course it was noticeable. Yeah, no, I hope you guys have enjoyed the What-If, and as you can see, things are going to be really different. I haven't written chapter 2 yet, but I'm just gonna spoil things for you right now. So, Minato, right? Minato is not only going to have a Sharingan, he's not only still going to be a prodigy, because he's Minato Namikaze, well, Minato Uzumaki. Actually, he's going to be Minato Uchiha, and that's one thing I won't spoil for you. He's going to be Minato Uchiha, and he'll survive. He's going to be trained by Kakashi, Obito, and Rin. And what else? He's going to have Uzumaki chains. And I think that's all the significant changes, yeah. So if that sounds exciting, just tune in next time. And I got nothing else to say, so I think that's where I end it. If you guys made it this far into the video, thank you so much, and with that out of the way, I'll see you next time. Nexus out.